Seems like the UFC are in talks to book the fight finally between Khamzat Chimaev and Kamaru Usman, and it's going to be in Abu Dhabi. I got the tweet right here. The UFC are in talks to book Khamzat Chimaev versus Kamaru Usman at 170 pounds for UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi. That is a big-time fight. I saw Lucas Tracy MMA, by the way. Shout out to Lucas Tracy, he's a bigger YouTuber than me. He has like about 20,000 plus subscribers. Shout out to him. He talked about that fight does not intrigue him. I don't know what he's on, but that fight intrigues me big time. If you're able to defeat the former champ, pretty much the #1 guy in the division, I think he's still #1 in welterweight, right? And beat him. That is so great for Khamzat Chimaev, because obviously right now Colby Covington is the next guy in line to fight Leon Edwards. You want to do a fight, obviously, for Kamaru Usman, because Kamaru Usman does want to fight, and he's been asking for Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat has not fought in damn near a year. I mean, last time he fought, I believe it was the fight. He was supposed to fight Nate Diaz, but then he ended up fighting Kevin Holland, and we haven't seen him since. It seems like he's only going to fight once a year, which is ridiculous because we've known Khamzat Chimaev to be fighting. Obviously, in this first year in UFC, he fought like, what, 4 times? And it like literally twice in like a single week? We have to see this guy get booked for something at this point. And finally, it seems like they're in talks of get Khamzat a fight because Paulo Costa, that fight fell through, it seemed like, because Paulo Costa is going to be fighting at, I believe, UFC 291. So it seems like this fight makes the most sense to me for both guys. It seems like Khamzat wants to be in the 170-pound division, and I'd rather see him in the 175-pound division right now. And then if he does win the title against Leon, this is just a trajectory, prediction at this point for Khamzat. If he beats Leon, you know what I mean, maybe defends the title once, then he goes up in weight to 185 to become the double champ. It makes more sense to do it that way, not to go to 185, win the belt, and then go down to 170 and then win the belt. It makes more sense to go down, win the belt, go up, win the belt. That just makes the most sense to me. Then you could possibly do the fight between Khamzat and Israel Adesanya if he's still the champ, or whoever will be the champ at 185. Okay? But Kamaru Usman and Khamzat Chimaev is such an intriguing matchup to me. I think is obviously the biggest fight that Khamzat has fought. Listen, Gilbert Burns was a great fight. That was a fantastic fight. One of my favorite fights of all time. But Kamaru Usman, to me, is a step up. Even though Kamaru Usman, obviously, is getting a lot older, if he's able to beat a guy like Kamaru Usman, who was the #1 guy, that is so big for Khamzat. Big time. Because I want to see him, listen, I think right now he's in the top 5. I think he's like #3 or #4, around there, right? In the welterweight rankings, Khamzat is. It just makes a lot more sense for Khamzat to fight Kamaru and then wait for the winner of Colby versus Leon. That just makes the most sense to me. And they get in Abu Dhabi. That's a big time. I mean, that could probably be the co-main, or maybe even the main. It could be the main for a pay-per-view card, to be honest with you, which I don't think it will be. I think that they're going to try and get for that card as well. I'm assuming they're going to try and get Islam Makhachev versus whoever at this point, because they want a title fight probably for that card. But that's a crazy co-main event. And you can make that 5 rounds. I wouldn't mind if they decide to do that as a 5-round fight. That's great. And, man, I mean, listen, Kamaru Usman been wanting it. Kamaru Usman has been the utmost, even though a lot of people feel iffy about Kamaru Usman, it just speaks about somebody like a Kamaru Usman to take this type of fight, which is a dangerous fight for him, which, after this fight, if he does lose, I mean, what is next for him? You know what I mean? This is a huge, risky fight for Kamaru Usman. Even though he solidified his legacy and he's the 2nd greatest welterweight of all time, this definitely can hurt Kamaru Usman as well, taking this fight. It can also, I guess, hurt Khamzat if he does lose, but still, I mean, Khamzat has to fight the best of the best to get to the title, and this makes the most sense. And if they do this fight, that's great. I hope they do it. I hope they get it announced, hopefully in the near future. But that's pretty much it. I literally just got announced and I wanted to talk about it immediately. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon with another video. Peace.